The morning sky above Earth looked normal, blue and peaceful, just like any other day. But far away, at the edge of the solar system, something terrible was coming. Admiral Cuthfer stood on the bridge of his massive warship. He was tall and covered in gray scales that looked like armor. His yellow eyes stared at the small blue planet on his screen, Earth, the third planet from a yellow star, home to creatures called humans. "How many ships do we have?" he asked, his second in command. 10,000, sir. Maybe more. They keep coming through the jump gates. Admiral Cuthfer smiled. His teeth were sharp like knives. He had done this 17 times before. 17 worlds had fallen to his fleet. The humans would be number 18. "These creatures look weak," he said, looking at pictures of humans on his screen. "No scales, no claws. They can't even fly. This will be easy." His fleet was huge. The ships stretched across space like a metal cloud. Each ship was 3 times bigger than anything humans had ever built. The guns on just one ship could destroy a city. "Sir, we are getting strange readings from the planet," said a young officer. "What kind of readings?" "Energy signals. But they are very weak. Probably just their primitive machines." Admiral Cuthfer laughed. "Of course they are primitive. Look at them. They still use rockets to get to space. We have been flying between stars for thousands of years." On Earth, Dr. Helen Martinez was working late at the radio telescope station. She loved looking for signals from space. Most nights, she found nothing but static. Tonight was different. Her computer started beeping. The sound was fast and urgent. She looked at her screen, and her heart stopped. The energy readings were massive. Something big was coming toward Earth. "This can't be right," she whispered. She checked the numbers again. Then she grabbed her phone. "General Carter, this is Dr. Martinez at the observatory. You need to see this right now." 20 minutes later, General William Carter was standing behind Helen's chair. He was a big man with gray hair and serious eyes. He had been a soldier for 30 years. "Are you sure about this?" he asked. "I've checked it 5 times. There are thousands of ships heading our way. They will be here in 3 days. General Carter picked up his secure phone. "Get me the president, now." At the White House, President Lisa Thompson was in her pajamas when the phone rang. She had been president for 2 years. She was smart and tough, but nothing had prepared her for this. "Madam President, we have a situation," General Carter said. "You need to come to the Pentagon immediately." 1 hour later, President Thompson sat in a dark room looking at pictures of alien ships. The room was full of generals and scientists. Everyone looked scared. "How many ships?" she asked. "At least 10,000. Maybe more. They're bigger than anything we've ever seen. What do they want? We don't know yet. But they're coming straight for Earth." Far above Earth, Admiral Cuthfer was getting ready to send his message. He always gave the creatures a chance to surrender. It made the conquest more official. "Open all communication channels to the planet," he ordered. Every television on Earth suddenly showed the same image. Admiral Cuthfer's scaled face filled the screens. His yellow eyes seemed to look right at each person watching. "People of Earth," he said. His voice was deep and cold. "I am Admiral Cuthfer of the Zephyrian Empire. We have come to claim your world." In living rooms and offices around the world, people stopped what they were doing. Some screamed, others just stared. "You have 72 hours to surrender," the Admiral continued. "Lay down your weapons. Accept our rule. If you do this, some of you will be allowed to live as our servants." President Thompson watched from the Pentagon. Her hands were shaking. "If you choose to fight," Admiral Cuthfer said, "we will destroy your cities. We will burn your farms. We will kill every human on this planet. You cannot win. We have conquered 17 worlds before yours. You are weak. We are strong." The message ended. The screens went back to normal programming. But nothing was normal anymore. In the Pentagon, General Carter was already making phone calls. I want every military base on alert. Contact our allies. Tell them what's happening. President Thompson stood up. What are our options? Not many. Our best fighter jets can't reach their ships. Our missiles might not even scratch them. But in a secret room deep under the Pentagon, something was happening. Dr. Jonathan Hayes was typing on a computer. He was an old man with white hair and tired eyes. He had been waiting for this day for 50 years. Sir, he said to a man standing behind him, it's time to activate Project Darkstar. The man nodded. Do it. Dr. Hayes pressed a red button on his desk. Around the world, hidden computers started waking up. Secret messages went out to people who had been waiting their whole lives for this moment. On a farm in Kansas, a man named Jake Morrison got a text message. He read it and smiled. Then he walked to his barn and pushed a button hidden behind some hay. The floor opened up, showing a tunnel that led deep underground in an office building in New York. Amy Rodriguez got the same message. She took an elevator to the basement, then walked through a hidden door. Behind it was a room full of computers and weapons that didn't look like anything from Earth. All over the world, ordinary people were getting the same message. But these people were not ordinary. They had been waiting and preparing for this day. Admiral Kethfer watched Earth through his ship's cameras. He saw the humans running around like scared insects. He saw their primitive military moving into position. Their weapons looked like toys compared to his fleet. Begin the countdown, he ordered. In 72 hours. If they don't surrender, we start the attack. But something was bothering him. His scouts had been watching Earth for weeks. The humans seemed scared, but not as scared as they should be. And there were strange energy readings coming from all over the planet. Sir, said his intelligence officer, we're getting reports that don't make sense. What kind of reports? The humans seem to have technology that shouldn't exist, and they're moving faster than we expected. Admiral Kethfer frowned. Every world he had conquered before had begged for mercy. They had offered him treasure and promises, but Earth was different. The humans seemed to be ... preparing for war. Keep watching them, he said, but don't worry. In 3 days, it won't matter what they're planning. He was wrong. The president's meeting room was packed with people. Generals, scientists, and government officials filled every chair. They all looked worried, but one man seemed calm. His name was Dr. Jonathan Hayes. Tell me we have options, President Thompson said. Tell me we can fight these things. Dr. Hayes stood up slowly. He was 70 years old and had been keeping secrets for most of his life. Today, those secrets would finally come out. Madam President, what I'm about to tell you is classified beyond top secret. Only 12 people in the world know about Project Darkstar. What's Project Darkstar? She asked. Our insurance policy. We've been preparing for this day since 1975. General Carter leaned forward. Preparing for what? How did you know aliens would come? We didn't know for sure, but we assumed they might. Think about it. If life exists on other planets, some of it might be hostile. We decided to get ready. Dr. Hayes pressed a button on a small device. The lights dimmed, and a hologram appeared. In the center of the room, it showed a spaceship, but not like any ship the humans had seen before. This is the USS Defiance. It's one of 30 ships we've built in secret over the past 50 years. Everyone stared at the hologram. The ship looked advanced, with smooth lines and glowing engines. Where are these ships? President Thompson asked. Hidden in asteroid mining facilities throughout the solar system. We told everyone we were mining for metals. We were actually building a secret fleet. Captain Amy Rodriguez was floating in zero gravity inside the USS Defiance. She had been waiting in the asteroid belt for 2 years. Her ship was hidden inside a fake mining station. From the outside, it looked like a normal facility. Inside, it was a war machine, "Captain," said her communications officer. "We just got the activation signal." Amy smiled. She had trained for this moment her entire adult life. "How many other ships are coming online?" 29 confirmed. "All systems green." Amy pressed the ship-wide intercom. "All hands, this is the captain. Today is the day we've trained for. Earth is under threat. Time to show these aliens what humans can do." Back on Earth, Dr. Hayes continued his briefing. "Our ships use fusion reactors that are 50 years ahead of anything the public knows about. They're faster and more powerful than the alien vessels." "How do you know that?" General Carter asked. "Because we've been studying them. This isn't the first time aliens have visited Earth." The room went silent. President Thompson felt dizzy. "What do you mean?" "In 1947, a scout ship crashed in New Mexico. We've been reverse engineering their technology ever since. These Zephyrians aren't the first hostile species we've encountered." Dr. Hayes showed them more holograms. Pictures of crashed alien ships, strange weapons, technology that looked like it came from science fiction movies. "We've been watching space for threats for decades. We have early warning systems they don't know about. We've been tracking this invasion fleet for weeks." Colonel Steve Bennett was sitting in a secret facility under the Rocky Mountains. He was surrounded by computers and screens showing space around Earth. This was the command center for humanity's hidden defense network. "Sir," said a technician, "all quantum communicators are online." Steve nodded. The quantum communication system let them talk instantly with ships and bases anywhere in the solar system. It was faster than anything the aliens had. "Contact the moon base. Tell them to prepare for Phase 1. On the far side of the moon, humans had been building a secret military base for 20 years. It looked like a scientific research station. Really, it was full of weapons and soldiers. Commander Jake Morrison was putting on his spacesuit in the moon base hangar. His fighter ship was small and black, designed to be invisible to alien sensors. "How many ships in your squadron?" asked his wing commander. 12. All equipped with antimatter torpedoes. Remember, stay hidden until the order comes. We want them to think Earth is defenseless." Back in the Pentagon, Dr. Hayes was showing more secrets. "We also have people throughout the galaxy. They pose as simple explorers or traders. Really, they're gathering intelligence on potential threats." "You're telling me we have spies in space?" President Thompson asked. "We have early warning systems in 12 star systems. We know about threats before they even decide to attack Earth." The truth was even bigger than she realized. For 50 years, humans had been pretending to be a young, weak species just learning to explore space. Really, they had been building the most advanced military in the galaxy. Dr. Patricia Wells was in orbit around Earth, but nobody knew she was there. Her space station looked like a communication satellite. Really, it was a weapons platform with enough firepower to destroy a city. "Control, this is Orbital Defense Platform 7, she said into her radio. "All railguns charged and ready. Copy that, Platform 7. Hold position until ordered to fire." Patricia looked at her screens. The alien fleet was getting closer. Soon, they would learn that Earth was not as helpless as they thought. Admiral Kethfer was studying reports from his intelligence teams. Something was wrong. The humans were moving too fast, too organized. "Sir," said his aide, "our scouts report strange readings from Earth's moon." "What kind of readings?" "Energy signatures that don't match their technology level. And there are structures on the far side that our initial scans missed." Admiral Kethfer frowned. "Send more scouts. I want to know what they're hiding." But the scouts would never make it back. Human ships were already moving into position. "Lieutenant?" Kevin Parker was piloting an experimental ship called the USS Vengeance. His ship could phase in and out of normal space, making it invisible to alien sensors. "Target acquired," he said to his crew. 3 alien scout ships heading for the moon. Weapons ready, sir. Fire. The alien scouts exploded before they even knew they were under attack. Admiral Kethfer lost contact with them instantly. Sir, we've lost Scout Group 7, reported his communications officer. What happened? Unknown. They just disappeared. For the first time since arriving at Earth, Admiral Kethfer felt worried. 17 worlds he had conquered, and none of them had been able to hurt his scouts. On Earth, the President was learning the full truth about Project Darkstar. How many people know about this? About 50,000 worldwide, Dr. Hayes said. Scientists, soldiers, engineers, they all volunteered to give up normal lives to prepare for this day. And you really think we can win? Madam President? We? Don't just think we can win. We know we can. We've been planning this war for 50 years. We know everything about their technology, their tactics, their weaknesses. Dr. Hayes showed her one more hologram. It was a map of the galaxy, with red dots marking Zephyrian colonies. We're not just going to defend Earth, he said. We're going to make sure they never threaten anyone again. The room was quiet. Everyone was starting to understand. Earth wasn't the target of an alien invasion. Earth was a trap, and the aliens had just walked into it. Major Lisa Cooper was at a secret base in Antarctica, standing next to missiles that could travel between planets in minutes. They were powered by technology that made nuclear weapons look like firecrackers. Major, said her communications officer, we just got orders from command. Prepare for quantum torpedo launch. Lisa smiled. The aliens thought they were hunting sheep. They were about to learn they had found wolves. Admiral Kethfer was getting more bad news. Sir, we're detecting energy buildups all over the planet, and in space around the planet, and on their moon. How is that possible? They're supposed to be primitive. I don't know, sir, but whatever they're doing, it's big. Admiral Kethfer looked at the countdown timer. 60 hours until his ultimatum expired. 60 hours until he would attack Earth, but deep in his heart, he was starting to suspect that Earth might attack first. The 72-hour deadline had come. Admiral Kethfer stood on his command bridge, watching Earth on the main screen. The small blue planet looked peaceful and quiet. Too quiet. Time is up, he announced to his fleet. Begin orbital bombardment. Start with their largest cities. Yes, sir, his weapons officer replied. Deploying destroyer squadrons now. 50 massive alien warships moved toward Earth. Each ship was armed with plasma cannons that could melt mountains. Admiral Kethfer had used these same tactics on 17 other worlds. It always worked the same way. The aliens would attack, the people would panic, and surrender would come quickly. But Earth was different. Sir, called his sensor operator, I'm getting strange readings from behind their moon. What kind of readings? Energy signatures. Multiple ships powering up weapons. Admiral Kethfer felt his first moment of real concern. How many ships? I count 12. No, wait. 20. The number keeps growing. Commander Jake Morrison floated in his fighter cockpit on the dark side of the moon. Around him, 11 other human pilots were doing final system checks. They had been hidden here for hours, waiting for this moment. This is Moonbase Control, came the voice in his headset. Phase 1 is a go. Repeat, Phase 1 is a go. Jake smiled inside his helmet. Roger that. Control. Ghost Squadron is moving to attack position. His small fighter was painted black and covered with stealth technology. 2 alien sensors. It would look like empty space, but it carried enough firepower to destroy ships 100 times its size. All fighters, this is Ghost Leader, Jake said to his squadron. Time to show these lizards what humans can do. Follow me in. The 12 fighters shot out from behind the moon like bullets. They moved faster than anything the aliens had ever seen. Sir, shouted the alien sensor operator, Multiple fast-moving contacts approaching our destroyer squadron. They appeared out of nowhere. Admiral Kethfer watched his screen in confusion. Small dots were racing toward his ships at impossible speeds. "What are those things?" he demanded. "Unknown craft. They're too small to be dangerous." He was wrong. Jake's fighter reached the first alien destroyer in seconds. The massive ship was 10 times bigger than his tiny fighter, but size didn't matter anymore. "Target locked," he said, pressing the firing button. "Antimatter torpedo away." The torpedo was no bigger than a suitcase, but it hit the alien ship like a miniature star exploding. The destroyer's shields flashed once, then failed completely. The ship broke apart in a ball of white fire. "Direct hit," Jake called out. One destroyer down. Around him, his squadron was doing the same thing. 11 more alien ships exploded in the space of 30 seconds. The aliens had never seen anything like it. "Impossible," Admiral Kethfer screamed. "Those were our best ships. How did primitive fighters destroy them so easily?" But the surprises were just beginning. Captain Amy Rodriguez was watching the battle from the bridge of the USS Defiance. Her ship had been hiding inside a fake asteroid for 2 years. Now it was time to reveal herself. "All stations report ready," her weapons officer announced. "Then let's introduce ourselves," Amy said. To cloak the ship, the USS Defiance suddenly appeared in the middle of the alien fleet. One moment there was empty space, the next moment there was a human warship bristling with weapons. "Sir," the alien communications officer was shouting. "Large vessel just appeared inside our formation. How did it get past our sensors?" Admiral Kethfer stared at the screen. The human ship was smaller than his flagship, but it looked deadly, sleek and angular, with weapons he didn't recognize. "Open fire on that ship," he ordered. "All vessels, concentrate fire." 20 alien warships turned their guns on the USS Defiance. Plasma bolts and energy beams filled space with deadly light. But when the light faded, the human ship was still. "They're completely undamaged. Their shields are too strong," reported the weapons officer. "Our weapons aren't penetrating." Amy smiled on her bridge. Human shield technology was 50 years ahead of anything the aliens had. "Our turn," she said. "Fire all weapons." The USS Defiance opened fire with guns that used pure energy from matter-antimatter reactions. The beams cut through alien ships like a knife through paper. 3 enemy cruisers exploded before they could even turn to run. But the real shock was still coming. Dr. Patricia Wells was floating in her secret weapons platform, disguised as a communications satellite. She had been waiting in Earth orbit for this moment for 3 years. Around the planet, 24 other platforms just like hers were powering up their weapons. "This is Orbital Defense Platform 7, she said into her radio. "All ready, charged and ready to fire." "Roger, Platform 7. You are cleared to engage. Show them what we've built." Patricia looked at her targeting screen. The alien ships were so big and slow, they were easy targets. She picked the largest one and pressed the firing button. The railgun fired a metal slug the size of a car at 10% the speed of light. It crossed the distance to the alien ship in less than a second. When it hit, the entire ship simply vanished in a flash of energy. "Direct hit," Patricia called out. "Target destroyed." All around Earth, 25 hidden weapons platforms opened. Fire at the same time. 25 alien ships exploded simultaneously. The attack was so coordinated and devastating that Admiral Kethfer thought he was seeing things. "Report," he screamed. "What's happening to my fleet?" "We're under attack from everywhere, sir. Earth orbit, their moon, ships appearing out of nowhere. We've lost 60 vessels in the first 5 minutes. Admiral Kethfer couldn't believe what he was hearing. His mighty fleet, which had conquered 17 worlds, was being destroyed by creatures he thought were primitive. Colonel Steve Bennett was deep underground in his command center. coordinating the entire battle. His quantum communication system let him talk instantly with every human ship and base in the solar system. "Ghost Squadron, good work," he said into his headset. "Pull back and rearm. Phase 2 is beginning." "What's Phase 2? Jake Morrison asked from his fighter. "The real attack begins now." On Earth's surface, Major Lisa Cooper was standing next to a launch tube the size of a building. Inside was a quantum torpedo, a weapon that could track and destroy enemy ships across millions of miles of space. "Target selected," she announced. "Admiral's flagship, bearing 27. Fire when ready, Major." Lisa pressed the launch button. The torpedo shot out of Earth's atmosphere in seconds, accelerating to impossible speeds. It could change course instantly, and couldn't be stopped by any weapon the aliens had. Admiral Kethfer watched in horror as a small object appeared on his screen, heading straight for his flagship. "Evasive maneuvers," he shouted. "All power to engines." But the torpedo was too fast and too smart. It hit his ship's hull and exploded with the power of a small nuclear weapon. The flagship shook like a leaf in a storm. "Shields down to 30%. His damage control officer reported. "Hull breaches on decks 7 through 12. For the first time in his military career, Admiral Kethfer was losing a battle. Badly, Lieutenant. Kevin Parker was piloting his phase ship through normal space when he got new orders. "Lieutenant, we need you inside their command ship." "Can you do it?" Kevin smiled. His ship could phase in and out of normal space, making it invisible and able to pass through solid matter. "Consider it done." He aimed his ship at the alien flagship and activated the phase drive. His ship became transparent, like a ghost, passing through the enemy's hull like it wasn't there. A few seconds later, he materialized inside the alien ship's hangar bay. "This is Parker," he radioed back to base. "I'm inside their flagship, beginning sabotage operations." The aliens in the hangar bay started shooting at him, but their weapons couldn't penetrate his ship's shields. Kevin fired back with precision, lasers, destroying their shuttles and fighter craft. Admiral Kethfer was getting reports from all over his ship. "Sir, there's an enemy vessel inside our hangar bay. It just appeared out of nowhere. How is that possible?" "I don't know, sir, but it's destroying everything." The Admiral looked around his bridge. Half his fleet was destroyed. The other half was scattered and running. The humans weren't just fighting back. They were winning easily, sir. His communications officer said quietly. "We're receiving a message from Earth." "Put it on screen." President Thompson's face appeared on the alien view screen. She looked calm and confident. "Admiral Kethfer," she said, "this is your only warning. Leave our solar system immediately, or we will destroy every ship in your fleet." Admiral Kethfer tried to look threatening. "You dare threaten the Zephyrian Empire? We have conquered 17 worlds. And now you've found the 18th, President Thompson replied. "But this one conquers back. You have 10 minutes to begin your retreat." The transmission ended. Admiral Kethfer stared at the blank screen, then looked at his tactical display. He had started the day with 10,000 ships. Now he had less than 3,000, and more were being destroyed every minute. For the first time in his life, Admiral Kethfer was truly afraid. Admiral Kethfer was not used to running away. In his entire military career, he had never retreated from any battle. But as he watched his ships explode one by one, he knew he had to make a choice. Fight and die, or live to fight another day. "Send emergency signals to all Zephyrian colonies," he ordered. "Tell them to send every available ship to Earth immediately." His communications officer looked worried. "Sir, that will take days." "We might not have days. We have to try. These humans are more dangerous than anything we've ever faced." But Admiral Kethfer didn't know that the humans had been watching his communications. Colonel Steve Bennett was listening to every message the aliens sent. "Sir," one of his technicians said, "the aliens are calling for reinforcements from 12 different star systems. They're sending everything they have. Good, Steve replied with a cold smile. Let them come. We're ready. Steve activated his quantum communicator and sent messages to human forces throughout the galaxy. Forces that had been hiding and waiting for years. This is command to all deep space units. Operation Total War is now active. Repeat, Operation Total War is active. Far away, near a planet called Zephyr Prime, Captain Tony Martinez was sitting in his disguised cargo ship. For 3 years, he had been pretending to be a simple trader, buying and selling goods in alien markets. Really, he was a spy and a soldier. Captain, his weapons officer said quietly. We just got the activation signal. Tony nodded. Around him, his crew was pulling off fake cargo containers to reveal hidden weapons. Their cargo ship was actually one of the most advanced warships humans had ever built. How many Zephyrian ships in this system? Tony asked. 200, military and civilian. Then let's get to work. The same scene was happening in 11 other star systems. Human ships that had been hiding as traders, explorers, and miners were revealing their true nature. The Zephyrian Empire was about to learn that humans had been among them for years, back at Earth. The battle was getting worse for the aliens. Captain Amy Rodriguez was hunting enemy ships like a predator. Her USS Defiance could outrun and outgun anything the aliens had. Target the heavy cruisers first, she told her weapons officer. Take out their biggest ships. Aye, Captain. Antimatter torpedoes locked on target. Fire. 2 more alien cruisers exploded in balls of white fire. The aliens were starting to panic. Their formation was breaking apart as ships tried to escape in all directions. Commander Jake Morrison was back in space with his fighter squadron. They had rearmed and refueled on the moon base and were ready for round 2. Ghost Squadron, this is base control. We have a new target for you. Large group of enemy ships trying to escape toward Jupiter. How many ships? Jake asked. About 50. Don't let any of them get away. Jake grinned inside his helmet. Roger that. Ghost Squadron, follow me. Time for some more target practice. The 12 human fighters shot through space toward the fleeing aliens. The enemy ships were much bigger and more heavily armed, but they were also slow and scared. Spread out and attack from all angles, Jake ordered his pilots. Make them think there are more of us than there really are. The fighters split up and came at the alien ships from 6 different directions. Their antimatter torpedoes made each small fighter as dangerous as a battleship. Dr. Jonathan Hayes was in his secret command center, watching the battle on dozens of screens. He was seeing 50 years of planning come together perfectly. Sir, one of his assistants said, we're getting reports from all our deep space units. The attacks on Zephyrian colonies have begun. Excellent. How many targets? All of them. Every Zephyrian military base, government center, and communication hub in 12 star systems. We're hitting them all at the same time. This was the real genius of the human plan. While the aliens were focused on attacking Earth, humans were destroying the Zephyrian Empire from the inside. On Zephyr Prime, the alien homeworld, chaos was erupting. Captain Tony Martinez's ship had dropped its disguise and was attacking the main military spaceport. Alien ships that were trying to launch were being destroyed before they could leave the ground. This is impossible, screamed the Zephyrian base. Commander, that's a human cargo ship. How can it have such powerful weapons? Tony's ship fired again, destroying 3 more alien fighters. Message to all Zephyrian forces. He broadcast, this is Captain Martinez of the Human Space Navy. Your invasion fleet at Earth is being destroyed. Your empire is being dismantled. Surrender now or be destroyed. Similar messages were being sent from 11 other star systems. The Zephyrian Empire was under attack everywhere at once. Admiral Kethfer was getting the bad news from all directions. Sir, we're losing contact with our colonies. Something is attacking them. What kind of something? Human ships, sir. There? Everywhere. They've been hiding among us for years. Admiral Kethfer felt his world falling apart. The humans weren't just defending Earth. They were destroying his entire civilization. Lieutenant Kevin Parker was still inside the alien flagship, causing as much damage as possible. His phase ship let him appear anywhere inside the enemy vessel, without warning. "This is Parker," he radioed to Earth Command. "I'm in their main computer center. Should I disable their systems?" "Negative," came the reply. "We want them to see everything that's happening. Let them watch their empire fall." Kevin understood. The humans didn't just want to win this battle. They wanted to break the aliens' will to fight forever. Major Lisa Cooper was launching quantum torpedoes from Earth as fast as her crew could load them. Each torpedo could find and destroy enemy ships anywhere in the solar system. "Target-rich environment," she called out, as another alien ship exploded on her screen. "How many more torpedoes do we have?" "Enough to destroy every alien ship twice over," her weapons officer replied. "Then let's make sure we don't miss any." The battle was becoming a massacre. The aliens had come to Earth expecting an easy conquest. Instead, they found themselves facing the most advanced military force in the galaxy. Dr. Patricia Wells was coordinating the orbital defense platforms around Earth. 25 hidden weapon stations were picking off alien ships with perfect accuracy. "Platform 7 to all stations," she broadcast. "Form a defensive sphere around Earth. Don't let any enemy ships reach the surface." "Roger, Platform 7. We have them completely surrounded." The few alien ships that were still trying to attack Earth found themselves flying into a wall of human weapons. Railguns, laser cannons, and missile launchers fired from every direction. Admiral Kethfer looked at his tactical display and felt despair. He had started the day with 10,000 ships. Now he had fewer than 1,000, and the number was dropping fast. "Sir," his aide said quietly, "perhaps we should consider surrender." "Never," Admiral Kethfer snarled. "The Zephyrian Empire does not surrender to inferior species." But even as he said it, he knew the truth. The humans weren't inferior. They were far more advanced than any species he had ever encountered. "Colonel." Steve Bennett was watching the alien communications. "Sir, they're getting more desperate. Some of their ships are trying to ram our vessels. Let them try. Our shields can handle anything they throw at us." A few alien ships did try ramming attacks, but they simply bounced off human shields like insects hitting a window. The humans had thought of everything. Commander Jake Morrison was chasing the last group of fleeing aliens toward the outer planets. "This is Ghost Leader to all fighters. The enemy is trying to escape toward Saturn. Cut them off. Copy that, Ghost Leader. No one gets out alive." The human fighters were faster than anything the aliens had. Even their fastest ships couldn't outrun the Earth defenders. As the day went on, the battle became more one-sided. The aliens weren't just losing, they were being completely destroyed. Every ship, every weapon, every soldier was being systematically eliminated. Admiral Kethfer finally understood the truth. The humans hadn't just prepared for this invasion. They had planned for the complete destruction of his species. "Sir," his communications officer said with a shaking voice, "we're getting reports from the home world. Human forces are attacking civilian targets now. They're not just destroying our military." Admiral Kethfer felt cold fear in his heart. "What do you mean? They're killing everyone, sir. Every Zephorian they can find." The Admiral stared at his screen, finally understanding what kind of enemy he had chosen to fight. The humans weren't just defending themselves. They were committing genocide, and there was nothing he could do to stop them. Admiral Kethfer stood alone on his damaged bridge. Most of his crew was dead. His mighty fleet of 10,000 ships was reduced to fewer than 100 scattered vessels. Around him, the bridge was dark and filled with smoke. "Sir," whispered his last remaining communications officer, "Earth is sending another message." "Put it on screen," Admiral Kethfer said quietly. President Thompson appeared on the cracked view screen. Behind her stood General Carter and Dr. Hayes. They all looked calm and determined. "Admiral," the president said, "this is your final chance. Surrender now, and we will allow your remaining ships to leave. Continue fighting, and we will erase every trace of your species from existence." Admiral Kethfer tried to stand tall. "The Zephyrian Empire will never surrender to humans. We are a proud warrior race. We have ruled this galaxy for thousands of years." Dr. Hayes stepped forward. "Admiral, let me explain something to you. Your empire no longer exists. In the past 6 hours, we have destroyed every Zephyrian military base, government building, and communication center in 12 star systems. Your home world is burning. Your colonies are empty. Your people are gone." The Admiral felt his legs go weak. "You're lying. Show him," President Thompson said. The screen changed to show views from space above Zephyr Prime. The alien homeworld was covered in fire and smoke. Cities that had stood for millions of years were now craters. The proud Zephyrian civilization was nothing but ash. "How?" Admiral Kethfer whispered. "We've been among you for 50 years, Dr. Hayes replied. Our people posed as traders, explorers, tourists. They mapped every building, every base, every important location. When you attacked Earth, we activated them all at once." Captain Amy Rodriguez was leading the final human assault. Her USS Defiance was surrounded by 29 other human warships that had been hiding throughout the solar system. Together, they formed the most powerful space fleet ever assembled. "All ships, this is Captain Rodriguez," she broadcast. "Begin final attack. No alien vessel leaves this system alive." "Roger that, Captain," came the replies from 30 ship commanders. Moving to attack formation, the human fleet spread out, like a net, surrounding the last alien ships. The Zephyrians tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. Human ships were faster, stronger, and more numerous. Commander Jake Morrison was leading 50 fighter squadrons in the final push. His small fighters darted between the larger ships like deadly insects, finishing off any aliens that tried to escape. "Ghost leader to all squadrons," he called out. "This is it, the last of them. Make every shot count." The space around Earth lit up with weapons fire, but it was all one-sided. The humans were hunting the aliens like predators hunting prey. Dr. Patricia Wells watched from her orbital weapons platform as the last alien cruiser exploded. "That's the last of their heavy ships," she reported. "Only small vessels remain. Copy that. Platform 7. Finish them off." Patricia targeted the remaining alien fighters and fired her railgun. The metal slugs moved so fast, they couldn't be dodged. One by one, the alien ships vanished in flashes of light. Colonel Steve Bennett was coordinating the global elimination from his underground command center. His screens showed the entire galaxy, with red dots representing Zephyrian positions going dark one by one. "Sir," one of his technicians reported, "all Zephyrian military targets have been neutralized. Should we proceed to Phase 3? "Yes. Begin the biological warfare protocol." Dr. Helen Martinez was working in a secret laboratory deep under the Pentagon. For the past 20 years, she had been developing something that would make sure the Zephyrian threat could never return. "The nanobots are ready," she announced to Dr. Hayes over the radio. "They're programmed to target only Zephyrian DNA, completely harmless to any other life form." "How long until complete elimination?" Dr. Hayes asked. 72 hours. Every Zephyrian in the galaxy will be dead within 3 days. This was the final solution. Even if some aliens had escaped the military attacks, the nanobots would find them. The microscopic machines would spread through space, finding every Zephyrian on every world and ending their lives quietly. Admiral Kethfer heard parts of this conversation on his damaged communications system. He finally understood the full horror of what was happening. The humans weren't just conquering his empire. They were exterminating his entire species. "You're monsters," he whispered into his communicator. President Thompson heard him. "No, Admiral, we're survivors. You came here to kill every human on Earth. Now we're making sure you can never threaten anyone again." Lieutenant Kevin Parker had left the alien flagship and was now piloting his phase ship toward Earth. His mission was complete. The alien command structure was destroyed, their computers were wiped clean, and their admiral was broken. "This is Parker," he radioed to command. "All objectives accomplished. The aliens are finished. Good work, Lieutenant. Return to base." Kevin looked back at the alien fleet one last time. A few ships were still fighting, but it was hopeless. In a few more hours, they would all be destroyed or dead. Major Lisa Cooper fired her last quantum torpedo at a fleeing alien transport. The ship tried to escape toward the outer solar system, but the torpedo was too fast and too smart. It caught the transport near Jupiter and destroyed it instantly. "That's the last one," she reported. "No alien vessels remain in our solar system." Around the galaxy, the same thing was happening. Human forces that had been hiding for decades were completing their missions. Every Zephyrian colony, every outpost, every settlement was being systematically destroyed. Captain Tony Martinez was finishing his work at Zephyr Prime. The alien homeworld was now completely lifeless. The proud civilization that had ruled the galaxy for millennia was nothing but dust and memories. "This is Martinez," he reported to Earth. "Zephyr Prime is secure. No survivors detected." "Roger that, Captain. Return to Earth for debriefing." Tony looked at the dead world below him. Part of him felt sorry for the aliens. They had been proud and strong, but they had also been cruel and aggressive. They had conquered 17 worlds and killed billions of innocent people. Now they had paid the price. Admiral Kethfer was dying on his bridge. His ship had lost life support, and the air was running out. Around him, his last few crew members were already dead. He had fought in hundreds of battles and conquered countless worlds. Now he was facing his own end. "Earthship," he gasped into his communicator. "I want to speak to your leader." President Thompson appeared on his screen one last time. "What do you want, Admiral?" "Why?" he whispered. "Why did you do this? We could have shared the galaxy. We could have found a way to coexist, President." Thompson looked at him with cold eyes. "Admiral, you came to our world and told us to surrender or die. You said you would kill every human on Earth. You gave us no choice, but complete extermination. We had families, children, innocent people who never hurt anyone." "So did the 17 worlds you conquered," President Thompson replied. "So did the billions of people your empire killed over the centuries. You created a civilization based on war and conquest. Now you've learned what happens when you meet someone stronger." Admiral Kethfer closed his eyes. "We were wrong. We should never have come here." "Yes," President Thompson agreed. "You should have stayed home and lived in peace. But you chose war, and now you face the consequences." The communication ended. A few minutes later, Admiral Kethfer breathed his last breath. The commander who had conquered 17 worlds died alone in the darkness of space. Dr. Hayes was watching the final reports come in from around the galaxy. "Madam President, it's over. The last Zephyrian military installation has been destroyed. The nanobots are spreading throughout their territory. Within 72 hours, every member of their species will be dead." President Thompson nodded slowly. "How many of them were there?" "Best estimates suggest around 20 billion, spread across 47 worlds. And now there are none. The Zephyrian Empire is extinct." President Thompson stood quietly, for a moment, thinking about what they had done. 20 billion sentient beings, wiped out in a single day. It was the largest act of genocide in galactic history. "Any regrets, Madam President?" Dr. Hayes asked. "No," she said firmly. "They came to kill us. They threatened to erase humanity from existence. We simply did it to them first. 3 days later, the reports were final. Every Zephyrian in the galaxy was dead. Their ships were destroyed, their cities were ruins, and their people were gone forever. The nanobots had done their work perfectly. Dr. Helen Martinez was addressing the United Nations, explaining what had really happened. For 50 years, we prepared for this day. We built secret weapons, trained hidden armies, and placed agents throughout the galaxy. When the aliens came to destroy us, we were ready. What happens now? Asked the Secretary General. Now we watch and wait, President Thompson replied. There are other hostile species out there, other empires that might threaten Earth. We'll be ready for them too. Dr. Hayes pulled up a new star chart, showing potential threats in distant galaxies. Red markers indicated aggressive species that might one day turn their attention to Earth. We've identified 16 other civilizations that show signs of expansionist aggression, he reported. We're already placing agents in their territories. President Thompson studied the chart. How long before they might become threats? Could be decades, could be centuries, but we'll be watching, and when they come, they'll find the same thing the Zephyrians found, which is what Dr. Hayes smiled coldly. That Earth looks like an easy target, but appearances can be deceiving. We may seem like a young, peaceful species just learning to explore space. Really, we're the apex predators of this galaxy, and now everyone knows it. The meeting ended, and the world leaders went back to their countries. To most humans, life continued normally. They went to work, raised their families, and enjoyed their peaceful planet. But in secret facilities around the world, and throughout space, the Watchers kept watching, the warriors kept training, the weapons kept being built and improved, because somewhere in the vast darkness of space, other threats were growing. Other empires were looking toward Earth with hungry eyes. Other species were planning conquest and domination, and when they came, they would learn the same lesson the Zephyrians had learned. Earth was not a victim. Earth was a trap, and humanity was the galaxy's most dangerous species.